the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. It's a free call, and some say the advice is worth exactly what you pay for it. The phone number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Tiffany in Gainesville, Florida, starts this hour. Hi, Tiffany. How are you?
Hi, Dave. How are you guys?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
So my question is, I have been on the Dave Ramsey plan for about 22 months. So I'm coming up on 2 years. I've paid off about $150,000 in debt.
Wow.
But I'm
Good job.
still have a little bit of ways to go. So my question is, in this day and time, should I sell my home? So I have about $190,000 in equity, maybe $210, depending on how it would sell. And I have about $223,000 of consumer debt. That includes medical bills, a $43,000 car, credit cards, and then some divorce penalties I had. So my question is, would that propel me? Would that be a better idea? Unfortunately, increasing my income anymore isn't an option right now.
What do you
I
make?
work 6 days. I make about $139.
Good for you.
I bring home about $139.
How long were you married?
Since I was 16, so too long.
Yeah.
24 and a half years.
Yeah. And then you've been divorced how long?
5 years, 6 months.
So, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry you went through that. It sounds like you're really scratching and clawing your way back. I'm proud of you.
It's a process. It's taken a lot. I listened to Jade's budget training last week, but there's no more areas in the budget. I've sold everything I can sell. So my options are to keep, scratching forward, or to sell my house and kind of get rid of the consumer debt. The unfortunate part is...
Did you have the house before the divorce?
I didn't. I bought it.
Okay. Do you have children?
Through my divorce. Grown, just one.
Okay, good. Okay. So do you like the house?
I love the house. It's perfect. It would be a good place to even retire. It's just, I have had to stop paying on 3 consumer debts. Once they came, you should never do this. I'm sure you're going to cringe. As I went through a very significant illness, and during chemo, I was still very ill, and I kept getting calls. You got to pay this. You got to pay this. I put it on my credit cards. So I have some credit card debt, but once it came out of the interest-free period, which is about 3 months ago, I wasn't able to make the minimum payments. Okay. So I still paid my regular payment, but obviously it's already negatively impacted me. So I'm scratching at other alternatives to kind of get back ahead.
So those are you said it was 3 credit cards. That's the only outstanding payments, right?
She's current now.
Yes. Those
okay.
are
paying
but you're just struggling to make the minimums.
Paying extra, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So how were you able to pay off 130 and now you got no margin?
That's my question.
So I cashed out my 401k. Yes, I cashed out my 401k because I had to make a cash settlement, $290,000, but I had to make a cash settlement for my divorce so that I didn't have to pay alimony. So that's where that came from. And had I known that I was about to come out of remission and need chemo treatment and 2 more surgeries, I obviously would have never done that. But unfortunately, you get the cards you're dealt, and so you just do better with it. So
how much is your house payment?
$2,407.
How much is your car payment?
$712.
Okay.
How much do you still owe on that car? Like, if
40.
you sold it today, what would you get for it?
Well, the unfortunate part is I would only get about $12,000. That's based on Kelley Blue Book because of the mileage on the vehicle. Because unfortunately,
how did you turn a $40,000 debt into a $12,000 car?
Yeah.
Yes. So unfortunately, mileage. So mileage is everything, and I travel for work.
Mileage doesn't do that. You must have had negative equity going in, or you got bad information somewhere.
Did you roll?
I took.
You can't put enough miles on a car to do that.
I have 158,000 miles.
That's not
on my
enough to do
2020.
that.
That's what Kelley Blue Book told me.
And you owe 45.
Oh, 43.
Somebody's numbers are wrong somewhere. Did you have negative equity in the other car you rolled into this one?
No, I didn't have another car.
Interesting. I would double check. Just
something's wrong.
Humor me and double check that when you get a chance, because that doesn't feel right. It is a lot of miles, but it doesn't seem like that many miles.
Wait a minute. What's your interest rate?
50. 6.6.
So that's an actual payoff number, not a TOP, total of payments.
Oh, that's likely correct. That is my current balance that reports to my Credit Karma.
Credit Karma doesn't count.
Okay.
They got bad karma. So, no, you need to actually call the bank and find out what your actual payoff is, because they may be reporting. There's two ways to calculate a subprime loan. This doesn't sound like a subprime loan. They calculate it as an actual payoff balance or a TOP, total of all payments remaining, which would be much higher. If that's the number, then the actual payoff number is going to be like 30, and then your 12 is wrong still. So you're a lot closer than we thought. That's what I'm thinking is going on, because these numbers don't work. There's no way you get there with this number. So anyway.
What's the least amount that you can live on? Because I'm looking at your debt and I'm looking at what you earn, and I'm like, maybe she can be free, 4 years I'm looking at. And there is something to be said for cutting your budget as much as you can cut it, getting your income as high up as you can get it, and then whatever that margin is, you just have to ride that horse to the finish line. Like, there is something to be said for that. I don't know that you're there.
Here's what's going through my head, okay? Cancer and a divorce. Quick fix with the 401k. Now quick fix with the house. And you still never address the person in your mirror because you've had so much tragedy and so many things. You're so much pain that I want you to make sure if you sell this house that you do address the budget, and that you quit finding ways to find yourself into this, because you use the word unfortunately like 4 times to outline stupid things you had done. Those were not unfortunate, they were bad choices. You're not stupid, but you've been in a lot of different kinds of pain in the last 5 years. And I'm sorry, I know you're hurting. So I just don't want to add to your pain. So we usually tell people don't sell the house. If you do, to get out of this, and I really wouldn't blame you here, to be out of it and to be free and start a whole healing campaign in every area of your life, make sure you heal in the financial area and you live on less than you make from this point forward. And no more unfortunately. No more. Now you're gonna get control of these controllables. You've got to. You don't have a choice now. I'm so sorry for what you've been through, hon. This is The Ramsey Show. It's a competitive home buying market, but there's a way you can get an edge. Churchill Mortgage works with you to understand your budget and your goals. And the Churchill Mortgage Home Buyer Edge offers you fast pre-approval and a secured interest rate. Plus, Churchill has bumped up their seller guarantee to $10,000, giving your offer the best chance of being accepted and helping you win in today's market. Go to ChurchillMortgage.com today to learn more. Thank you for joining us, America. We're glad you're here. If you like what you're hearing, help us out. We can use the help. Click the subscribe button, the follow button, share the show any way you can, whether you just tell people about it or whether you, some of the platforms have a share function, use it. Click a link and send them a copy of the podcast or the YouTube link, whatever it is. and tell them where we are on talk radio, however it is, and leave a 5-star review. All of those really do help us. And if you want to say thank you to us, that's how you do it, because it puts us up at the front of the algorithms and keeps new people finding us, and we're able to help them. It's what we do. Allie is with us. Allie's in St. Louis. Hi, Allie. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, how are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Yeah, I'm just calling. I am a physical therapist here in St. Louis. I've been out of school for about a year now, but I've been in a residency program, so I've been able to defer my loans. And last night I really sat down and figured out that I need to start tackling these things. So I've got about $112,000 in my name from undergrad and also from graduate PT school. And then my parents also have about $100,000 in their name that they took out to help me get through undergrad. So I'm just kind of curious the best way to tackle these and get out of debt as quickly as possible.
Is this your only debt, or do you have other types of debt to go along with it?
This is the only debt I have.
Okay. Well, what I would do if I were in your shoes is, I'm glad that you're looking at this and going, hey, I got to pay this off. I can't wait around for somebody else to do it for me. So that's good. A lot of times these loans, they're broken into lots of smaller loans. Are yours, are they like that?
Yes, mine are. Yeah, I've got altogether, they're about 20 just small loans.
Okay. So assuming that the Parent Plus loans were like, it was decided that you're the one paying them back. I'm assuming that's the case, right? Even though they took the loan out?
Well, we haven't really had that conversation yet. So that's something that I need to do with my parents. Yeah, the $112,000 are all in my name, and then the $100,000 of Parent Plus loans.
What makes you think you're liable for the Parent Plus loans? You didn't have a discussion when you took them out? They said, we'll take these out, but you got to pay them. That wasn't a conversation early?
The conversation that we've had is, we'll help you with this, but we haven't had a fully sit-down conversation to decide what exactly does that mean. So that is like top priority.
Right. So your parents are not wealthy?
Not necessarily. Middle class.
Okay.
They do okay. But
I wasn't putting them down. I'm just, if they got $10 million in the bank, they wouldn't have done this.
Well, some people also think that me helping you is, I'll co-sign since you can't sign on your own. So they might have just thought by co-signing that was it, but there's a lot of money on the table here. So I would have that conversation and find out.
Allie, did you finish residency yet?
Yes, I finished up now. So
what do you make now? 80?
So let's see. This past year during my residency.
No, what will you make this year? 80? This coming year?
This year I'll make $71,000.
71. Okay. Plus you can pick up some OT, if not with that firm, with emergency room or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So we can use this degree to earn another 20, and you work your tail end off, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Oh, I know so. I've done it a bunch.
That's the case.
Done a bunch with PTs, yeah.
Well, that's good. I would just list these debts smallest to largest. I would, you got to have this conversation with your parents. At the same time, your name is your name on it at all?
No, not on Parent Plus loans.
Okay, so I would start with the 112.
Yes.
And I would list those from smallest to largest. I'd just go crazy, go ham on those. And then this Parent Plus thing, here's the thing. Their name is on it. Your name is not on it. So you need to speak with them. It's not going to blow up your credit if this is kind of an ongoing, conversation. It's not going to stop you from doing what you need to do. But that's going to be tough, Dave, because they might have interpreted two different sides of this thing. Yeah,
just whatever comes out. I mean, if you decide you're going to pay it, then you got $212,000 and you make 90 with overtime and extra jobs, and you're single and you live on nothing like a graduate student. And so we throw 50 a year at it, and in 4 years you're done.
Yeah.
Or in 2 years you're done if mom and dad pick up the Parent Plus, but you're probably picking up at least some of it. It sounds like in this conversation.
I would guess so.
Yeah, you don't have a legal obligation.
I don't really feel.
Yeah. Both of you should have your tail kicked for not having a clear understanding before you take out $100,000 worth of loans and don't know how they're going to get paid. But Now that that's done, you got to drive to clarity and decide what you're going to do or what you should do. Technically, legally, you owe nothing.
I'd at least try to go 50-50, though.
Well,
I feel like
I have no idea what these people decided they were going to do, and so I'm not letting her or them off the hook. So, y'all got to get in there and figure that part out. And but either way, Jade's right. Your 112 is first. You do not pay on the Parent Plus loans. They at least get to pay the payments until you clear the 112. That's their part of the problem anyway.
Yeah, I would agree.
And then after that, if you decide you want to take it on, we'll do that or something. I don't know. You're going to have to make this up as you go because you didn't do it on the front end. This is how people end up not speaking to each other.
That's what I'm saying. Don't let it. It's a lot of money, but I wouldn't let it come between the relationship. I mean, that sucks if she has to be the one to carry that.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But either way, we just got to work through it. And the 112 is first. You live on beans and rice and beans. No life. No, you don't get to go on vacation. Yes, you take every time someone offers you any kind of overtime with your PT, any kind of extra PT jobs anywhere, emergency room, anything you can do that's legal and moral, go do it and make money. No eating out, no vacations. You have made a mess, girl, and you got to clean it up. This is the formula for getting out. That's the bad news. The good news is it'll actually work, and you'll be debt-free in around 3 years if you go whole hog on this.
True that.
Get after it. Get after it. That's how you do it. Jade, 40 million people are facing a hard reality in October. Student loan payments are coming back.
Yes, they are.
Turns out that the president, he's not going to do it. So there you go. We'll just leave it at that. We kind of all knew that. Those of us that are old, like a politician lied. Who knew? And
to get votes.
Yeah, he's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. He didn't know an executive order couldn't do that by the Constitution, but who knew? He did. But anyway, you're going to get to pay your student loans. So our team wants to help. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to be hosting a free live stream. Situations just like hers, just like Allie's facing, right? This is why we're doing it. And we're doing it September the 12th at 7 p.m., Tuesday, September the 12th. And it's Jade, who has paid off over $200,000 worth of student loan debt, Rachel, who never had any, and me, who went broke. So we got a lot of credibility here.
There you go.
These are the people who are going to get together and teach you. So Rachel Cruz, Jade Washout, Dave Ramsey are going to talk about student loans, how we got here, and give you a clear plan to pay off your student loans. No kidding. We're not going to do it. You're going to do it, but we're going to show you how. You're going to be the hero in your journey. We're going to give you the sword and tell you how to kill the dragon. You are not alone. This is completely free. Go to RamseySolutions.com/student loans and get signed up for this. It's September the 12th. Tell everybody you know. We want to have 200,000 or 300,000 people watching this free live stream, and so we can help at least 20,000 of them, because 90% of them won't do squat. But a bunch of you need to come and watch, and we'll show you how to do it, tell you the hard truth and how we got here. No kidding. And this is not just a whine session. This is exactly what you do, just like we did with Allie. Allie can get out of hers, and it's on being on a budget. Get on every dollar. It's the stuff we talk about, and yeah, you're going to hear it again, but you need to hear it again, and we're going to put it all in the context of the student loans coming back in October. September 12th, Rachel Cruz, Jade Washout, Dave Ramsey. Get signed up for this at RamseySolutions.com/student loans. It's going to be good.
That's a word. I can't wait. This is an opportunity for people to get free.
Yeah.
This is their opportunity.
For real.
Instead of looking at it like a bad thing.
Think about how you feel now versus how you felt with 200,000.
I'm living my best life.
Have a life.
Okay.
I have a life.
And you will too, if you do this.
If you sit around and wait on Washington, D.C., you're going to die in debt.
That's right.
Boy, that was a nice word. This is The Ramsey Show. If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Go to Blinds.com now and save 45% off selected products. Visit Blinds.com today for more info. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jane is in Knoxville. Hi, Jane. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Oh, need so much help. I need one of them swords to slay a huge dragon. I may be your toughest case you've ever had. Anyway, my husband is he's fixing to be 65. I'm around 59. And we have 10 kids. I'm homeschooling my last one. She's 15. Anyway, long story short, I had to go to work. He got really sick, and so he can't work like he used to. So I'm now working. I started working this past year, and we definitely need help. We have quite a bit of debt, and I don't know where to start. So I have a car that we made a huge mistake and got a new vehicle, and we owe about $54,000, maybe $53,000 on it, which is, I know, crazy. But we didn't really have a good vehicle for me to go to work in, so we did something stupid. So, long story short, how do we? That was my first question. Do we sell that to
Yes.
try to get out of this debt? But I finally realized that we're old enough. Wish we had these things in plan. But I've been a homeschool mom all my life, so this is all new to me.
Yes.
He's kind of
What's
done all this
what's the car
financial.
worth?
Probably 42,
Yeah.
43.
What's your household income?
Together now we make almost about 85, maybe 80 to 85.
Yes. You need to sell it.
Okay. So
yes.
how do you do
yes,
that?
you shouldn't have bought it. Yes, you shouldn't have. Who's got the
know.
loan?
Hyundai.
Okay. How bad's your credit?
It's good. I have good credit because.
Well, run over at the credit union or your local bank and get an unsecured loan for $15,000, buy a $3,000 car, and cover the $12,000 hole you're in and sell it.
Okay, could you say that again?
Okay. You got to borrow the amount that you're in the hole.
Okay.
In order to sell it, plus $3,000 to get a car.
Okay.
Because you got no car, right?
No, he has his truck for the farm, but we don't have a car.
All right, get you a little $3,000 car to get around, and you don't need $43,000 car to go to work.
Okay. So is that the first thing to do? We have a tractor payment of $40 and a small
$40,000 on a tractor?
Yes, we have a 500-acre farm that he's trying to still take care of. Like I said, he got COVID really bad. He got really sick, almost died. So it changed our lives 2 years ago.
You live on the farm?
We do live on the farm. That's a long story, but we can't sell it because we found out it's in a trust that his parents had put in. So we take care of it. We have no money to take care of it, but what we make, and so we can't sell it. So we have a place to
sell the
live.
tractor and lease the land.
Okay.
Let somebody else farm it. Your husband's sick and you can't afford the tractor, and you're not making any money anyway.
Sell the tractor, lease the land. That sounds great.
Let somebody get another farmer to lease it. What's your husband been growing on it?
We have corn. I'm trying to think what all he does. Corn, soybeans. They've done a lot of different stuff too.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure.
I mean, if it's pretty standard deal is another farmer in the area farms it, and you get a percentage of the crop as your lease payment.
Okay.
That's a pretty standard arrangement. I assume that can go to you. I don't know. You don't own it.
I know it's a terrible situation.
I don't know if it goes to the trust or not.
No, it doesn't. I mean,
If you make money on the farm, you don't have to give it to the trust, right?
No, we don't,
Okay.
because we have to pay the taxes and all the stuff for it. It's just in a trust. I mean, all the land's tied up in a trust.
Who is the parent?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
That's okay. I'm aghast.
Yes, so am I.
This is
We
not a
found
blessing.
out
So this
later
is his
after we
family
did it.
farm.
Mm-hmm.
His grandpa had it.
Yes.
His grandpa's grandpa had it.
Yes.
Okay. And so they put it into a trust so that it doesn't get sold.
That's exactly. And then we didn't realize that we actually paid money for the house when we moved here. But we did not know until after they passed away that they actually put the house in with the trust. So we don't even own the house.
Okay.
Wow.
And so I assume upon your death that the trust goes to your kids.
Yes.
They're cursed with this as well.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly right. I guess there's no way to do anything about it. I don't know.
I don't either, but I'm going to see an attorney and try to figure out, because my obligation to a toxic situation is pretty low. I mean, what happens to this beautiful plan if you all just move off?
I don't really know.
You quit
We
paying
talked
the
about that.
taxes.
What if we
That's
just
my
go rent
question.
Yeah, the
because
trust
we
will
can't keep affording
lose
to
it if
pay
you don't
for
pay the taxes, because you're getting no
Exactly.
benefit from this thing at all.
No, we're not.
And there's no
So
penalty
it's
on them
actually sucked us
if they
dry.
leave.
That's why we are where we are.
Who is the trustee?
My husband is.
Huh.
He's
The
actually the trustee.
You need to go see an attorney.
Okay, do you recommend one that might do
No, I
this
go to an
type of
estate
thing?
planning attorney there in Knoxville. Ask around, find out who does good estate planning work, because this probably needs to be busted up. I hate to sell family land like this, but it has become a curse rather than a blessing.
That's right.
And I love land, and I love family tradition and legacy, and the older I get, the more emotional I get about that kind of stuff. But this has not been a blessing to you, and it's not going to be a blessing to your kids
That's right.
because it's poorly structured. And so y'all need to figure out what to flip. So spend a little money on an attorney. Let's get out of the car and get out of the car deal
Out of the
and get out of the
tractor.
tractor deal.
What other debt is there?
We have a personal loan for about $30 that we just had to live on since he got sick, and that's
Yeah.
really it.
Because you have so many payments, you can't breathe. Yeah.
That's right, and nothing really.
And nothing coming
nothing
in.
to sell. So.
Well, once you get out of that car and tractor, you'll be able to throw something at that personal loan and knock that out.
Yeah.
And then that'll be it.
Right.
Yeah, just tear that down and tear down whatever hole you're in on the car, and you may be in a hole on the tractor as well.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you can get a farmer to take that tractor and buy it as a part of leasing the deal.
That's
If
good.
you want to investigate that, but also investigate busting up the trust, which, by the way, will solve the whole problem, because now you're in control of the asset. You can sell off, 50 acres of this, and all of a sudden you've got some money, and you're debt free. So, and keep a 450 of it. I mean, you'd be just fine.
So Dave, you get in somebody passes away and you're part of a trust or you're part of their will. You can't just simply decline and say, I don't want it.
Well, you can fail to perform the things they're asking to perform. The weird thing here is that he's the trustee. The trustee's who has the control. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not an attorney, but depending on how the trust is written, the trustee is supposed to execute the terms of the trust, but also if somebody's going to break it up, it's going to be the trustee, and her husband's the trustee.
Yeah.
So if it was some third-party attorney or his uncle or somebody was the trustee, then you might not be able to get anywhere with it. But when you're the trustee of your own trust, I mean, that's weird. It's weird.
That
but
is
it
weird.
Yeah. So somebody was trying to do something good and honorable and nice and keep
Yeah.
it in the family, but instead they handcuffed the family.
Yeah.
And have left them in a toxic situation. So that's what you've got to be careful of these things that go in perpetuation. Mm-hmm. A small example of that's not nearly as emotional as, we just went through the If Dave Dies This Year meeting with my family and with the leaders. I have to do this Monty Python meeting every year. I'm feeling much better. It's just a flesh wound. And we just talk about what happens this year if Dave dies. So one of the tenets is, it's written down, and that we go over in that meeting every year, is that nothing that we do at Ramsey Solutions is to be kept alive because it was Dave's dream.
Okay, that's good.
You're set free from sacred cows.
That's good.
You should put a bullet in all sacred cows and eat them. Turn them into hamburger. Although you would not eat them.
I was going to say, do we have to eat them, Dave? Can we just...
I want to eat them, but I'll be dead and you're a vegan, so we're screwed,
I'll turn it
right?
into a leather jacket.
Yeah.
How about that?
There we go. Now we're talking. Get some use out of that burger, out of that beefalo. But anyway, yeah, the sacred cows, and that's what these things become, especially generationally like this.
Yeah.
Where you're like 4 generations down, and what...
You can't have the foresight to know what's going to happen 4 generations from now.
I turned the kids loose and the Ramsey team loose from doing something that I thought was good 30 years ago or 20 years ago. Kill it. Move on. I want them turned loose emotionally and legally.
Yeah.
You go to the next thing. Go to what God has given you to do.
That's good.
This is The Ramsey Show. Hey, if you're in over your head with student loans and tired of getting calls from collection agencies, if private student loan debt is taking away your financial peace and you don't see any way out, you need Y-Refi. They're not a debt settlement company, and they're not connected to a bank. Y-Refi refinances defaulted private student loans that other places won't touch and gives you a custom loan built for you based on your ability to pay. So when you refinance your private student loan debt with Y-Refi, you'll have a payment you can afford with a low fixed interest rate you couldn't get anywhere else to help you stick to your budget and work the debt snowball. And you can save thousands of dollars. To learn more about this custom refinancing option and a lump sum payoff option you could qualify for after 24 months, call 844-2-RAMSEY or go to yrefi.com/Ramsey. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. Open phones at 888-825-5225. John's in Asheville, North Carolina. Hi, John. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
So, I'm in a situation. It's a lot of debt, and I'll just start running the numbers by you. So, I'm a first-year physical therapy student. I still have 2 more years to go of schooling. I myself am in $78,000 of debt. My fiance and soon-to-be wife is in $220,000 through Sally Mae, $220,000, and also another $88,000 through FAFSA student loans. So, totaling all that up, it's about $400K ish.
What's she studying?
She just finished physical therapy school. She's been working now for 2 months. She just started working in June.
Spent, wait a minute, she spent $200,000?
And another 88.
She spent $300,000
on a PT degree? Why?
I know, and for the longest time in our relationship, I was
bad
told
school choice? I mean, what was the deal?
No, it was a state school up in Pennsylvania, but I don't think her family has much. They have 5 kids, and I know they recently just got out of debt, to my knowledge.
Okay, so she's gotten her first job. What's she making? 80?
She's making 74 before taxes.
Yeah.
Is she gonna be doing some specialty type of PT that earns more than the average?
No.
The only thing she could do is get a travel job, which tend to pay closer to, if you would extrapolate it out, closer to $100K a year, 90 to $100K a year.
Mm-hmm.
However, with me being in school in Asheville for the next 2 years approximately.
When are you getting married?
We're getting married in December.
Good. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, the thing you do, John, is the ratio you're looking at is, and this is the reason we ask these questions every time, is if you get out, you're making 75, she's making 75, that's 150, and you're going to have 400. So that's the shovel to hole ratio, we always call it. In other words, your shovel's your income, the hole is 400, right?
Right.
Okay. So how quick do you pay off 400 making 150? Well, if you live on 50 and you put 100, 4 years, right? That's how we do it. I mean, that's how we run the math. It's just big numbers like that. Because we always want to assume you live on nothing and you put everything. I mean, if you could live on 30 and put 120, it cuts it down by a few months, you know. But, and you pick up some OT, which both of you can do. Pick up some emergency room, and anything else you can pick up that's not travel.
Right.
But she can make another 20 working OT, working some overtime for somebody. It's available, and
it can be done.
And then you just plow your way through it. I mean, if both of you make 90 instead of making 75, or both of you make 95 instead of making 75 when you get out, then that's how you're going to plow through it. But it's going to be because you're not getting out for another 18 months after marriage or so, it's going to be a long slog. I mean, y'all got a 3-4 year, at least 4 year program of no life. Don't talk about buying a house. Don't talk about going on vacation. All I want you to talk about is how much you're going to work and how little you're going to spend. Because the more of that you do, the faster you get out, and the higher the probability is that you do get out. Because otherwise, you're going to look up 20 years from now, and you're still going to be sitting on that egg trying to hatch it.
And that's my biggest takeaway for you, John. Don't let the magnitude of this cause you to not start. Because the time's going to pass anyway, and you're going to look up in 5 years. And 5 years from now or 4 years from now, you're either going to look up and this is going to be a gone thing of the past, debt that you used to know, or you're going to be smack dab right in the middle of it, and some of it will have gone up. Do you see what I'm saying?
You got to take everything you can get on income and cut every expense you can cut on outgo. And, I mean, we're talking beans and rice and beans, ramen noodles, tuna fish is for broke people. I mean, this is what you're broke people. That's what you're getting into. It's what you're signing up for. And both of you have signed up for it. So, and I wouldn't tell you to do anything other than that. I mean, get married in December and then start working it as hard as you can work it. And, you know.
Who's paying for the wedding?
We collectively as a couple are going to pay probably a little under 10 grand. And then both families have agreed to pay approximately 10 grand each.
Okay.
That's a nice wedding.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. And you're not going in debt for it, so that's good.
Yeah, no more debt. And don't tell me you got to buy a car, and don't tell me you got to buy a house. You're broke people with lots of degrees.
Yep.
And you got to clean the mess up, man. I mean, you got to re-identify yourself in your mind and go, okay, I got to clean this up. I got to clean this up. I got to clean this up. And you just get in that mode, and you can do it. You can do it. People do it all the time. Jade did it. You paid off again.
And it took me longer than you, John. So you can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, but you started with a lot less income.
That's what I'm saying.
At the beginning of it, but y'all paid off $460 something, almost $500.
Yeah, that's right.
Total, of which almost $300 was student loans.
That's right. So. It can be done. It's a slog, but put those milestones in there, build it in. Once we pay off this amount, we're going to do this thing. Once we pay off this amount, we're going to do this thing. It's not enough to get yourself off track, but you have to celebrate those milestones, especially when you're in it for more than 2-3 years. You've got to keep yourself motivated by doing that.
And if it makes you feel better, you can be one of those idiots that posts on the internet, Dave Ramsey won't let me have a life.
I've seen some of those, Dave.
Because it's not Dave Ramsey. It's you.
Yeah.
You get to decide. I'm not going to do it. Dave Ramsey just told you how to get out.
That's
Jade
right.
just told you how to get out. You could actually post, Jade told me I can't have a life.
No. It's till Dave do us part, not till Jade do us part.
Well, come on. You can throw me under the bus. You're going to leave me by myself on the mean internet memes.
I don't know, Dave. I don't know if I can handle it.
I'm thinking, I think you ought to get. I think they ought to. Come on, you guys, put it out there. Jade made me do it. Jade ruined my life.
Is this because you didn't get the slash Jade? The slash
You know
Dave?
what? I'm still bitter. You're right. You're bringing up stuff from 5 weeks ago, but I'm still bitter. But yeah, the thing is, I didn't ruin anybody's life. I just told you to go ruin your own life so you could get your life back because you sold it to Sally Mae. You sold your butt to Sally Mae. You signed the deed to your butt, and you handed your deeded butt over to Sally Mae, and now you got to get your butt out of hock.
Yeah.
And that's what it amounts to. And it's a pain in the butt to do it.
It's not easy.
A lot of butts going on here.
A lot, yeah. You put them in there, but it's not. The point is, there's nothing easy about this. You can try to look for a loophole or an easier way out, but when you've got this kind of debt, you have to sacrifice to win. There's no two ways about it.
And the weird thing, guys, for everybody out there, John included, congratulations on the December wedding. We just signed you up for hell. Not the marriage, but the process of getting out of debt there afterwards. But yeah, for everybody, John included, the interesting thing is what happens inside of your spirit while you're fighting through this.
Bingo.
Jade and Sam are a power couple to be reckoned with. They probably would have become that anyway, but they became that more so by fighting this fight. The transformation and the calluses that happen in your character that cause you to be able to hold your breath, grit your teeth, and push through hell and get it cleaned up, set the stage for you to be able to tackle anything after that.
Yeah, you can't get between us. And at this point, there's nothing you can tell me that I'm going to go, I don't know if I can do that. It just builds this muscle of belief. It's like when a woman has a baby. You can't tell her nothing after that. It's like, I can do anything. And it's the same way when you pay off this debt. You can't tell anybody nothing after they pay off $460,000 of debt.
Exactly. And that's what it's going to do. But the force that causes that piece of coal to become a diamond is this extreme sacrifice in a short period of time, and it causes not only the debt to go away, but a wonderful permanent change in your relationships and in your life. That's the beauty of it. So embrace the suck, man. Lean into it. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jade. Look, if you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. The number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Megan is in Colorado Springs to start this hour. Hi, Megan. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hi, guys. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you. What's up?
All right. I have a quick question for you. My car is totaled from hail damage, and my insurance evaluated it, and there's two options. One, take the total loss settlement and a higher check, and then I would purchase a different used car, or a lower check and have it as a salvage title.
How much is the car worth?
$15,000.
So they're going to give you a $15,000 check.
Well, actually, I had added a 20% car replacement assistance, so it's actually, if I do the total loss, it'll be $19,000. If I do the salvage title, it'll be $13,000.
Oh. Did you have did you have a loan on the car?
No, it's paid off.
Wow, good for you.
That is good.
Okay, take the check, the big one. Take the big one.
Yeah, what would be the purpose in taking the small one?
Wait a minute. Here's the alternative.
Well,
Here's the alternative, and it's easy for you to figure out. This is how I made the decision that fast, okay? If you had $19,000 in your hand, would you go buy a $6,000 hail-damaged salvage title for your driving car?
No.
I didn't think so. It's the same thing. It's the same decision. You now have $19,000 in your hand, and they want you to buy this car for $6,000. No, thank you. I'll pass.
The only thing is that they're going to tow it if I take the $19,000.
So?
Then I still have to buy it.
You'll be able to cover
So
that.
what? You got $19,000. I think you can go rent a car and then go buy one. Rent you a car for a week and go look around, find you a car.
There you go.
Yeah, they can have it. It's theirs once you take the money. But yeah, it's their car. They buy it. And you can probably actually negotiate a little bit of distance between the time they give you the pick it up in a week. Give me a week to get another car after you give me my check. Just work on them a little bit. But even if they don't, just go rent you a car. But you don't want that car, darling.
No, you're right.
Were you trying to do something else with the money? Do you have debt to pay off, or it was just this is that on that?
Well, no, I'm on baby step 3, and it's drivable. It just has a lot of dents on it.
Yeah,
so I didn't know
it's a mess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut it
Looks
loose.
like a teenager with acne. Yeah.
Come on, Dave. We're sorry.
Bad. It's bad. It's bad. I had a car I had a friend of mine did that. There was 2 guys here working here years ago, and we used to have 2 of those cars that had the hail beat out of them.
There you go.
They were sitting in the parking lot. They looked like they'd been shot with an AR.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh, on full auto. But yeah, it was amazing. No, you don't want that. That's even if you don't spend 19 on a car. If you want to go buy a $13,000 car, that's okay. But just get one that doesn't look like that. I mean, you can't. The problem with this other car is you can't get rid of it once you got it, and you got $6,000 tied up in it. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it.
That's good.
Hey, good question. Haven't had that one in a while.
Yeah, that's
Open phones at 888-825-5225. David's in San Antonio. Hi, David. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you today?
Better than we deserve. How can we help?
So I've got a couple questions. First one, I'm getting close to finishing baby step 2. I can see the finish line. It's maybe weeks or even a couple of months away. I've been doing the baby steps, I guess, for about 3 years now. I didn't even know I was doing them. I've also been saving as well, and I'm ready to move to baby step 3, but I'm just scared. Okay. I admit I do still use a couple of credit cards, but I pay them off in full every month. I know you're not a big fan of credit scores, but I'm rocking about an 800.
I don't care.
I had okay.
You said I'm not a fan. I really don't.
I know. I had a couple of expensive trips over the summer. Most of it's paid for. I have one last credit card bill due in
David, you were doing nothing we teach. Why are you asking our advice?
Well, here's the thing. I've got I have a student loan to the tune of about $6,300 and change. Now, I had $5,000 in treasury bills, and I just moved that over to my savings account down the street at my credit union. With what I had in there already, I'm sitting on about $8,800 in liquid cash.
Okay.
So take a trip.
Well,
you got the money.
Do I take a trip, or do I just drop a nuclear bomb on my student loan and my credit card and be done with it?
I mean, what do you think? What do you think we might say?
I'm pretty sure I know what you're going to say.
You do know, David. You know what we're going to say, David. David.
I'm going to drain my savings.
Come on, David. Don't play yourself.
I mean, I will drain my savings, and I can rebuild it. I
definitely can rebuild it.
I make enough to put money away every month.
How much do you make?
But I'm working 2 jobs right now, combined about $48K.
Okay.
I am applying for another job, and
all sarcasm aside, I am really curious. Why, when you don't do anything else we say, do you care what we think?
That is a good question.
You seem to be an authority on this, so.
Well, I know, but I'm an authority on the other stuff you're doing, and you weren't doing it, and you knew that, and so I'm not trying to be mean. I mean, you kind of have to decide who you is, you know. And
fair enough. Okay.
I don't mind. It doesn't offend me. I'm going to go on with my life. You're going to go on with yours. So we'll still be friends. You know, I love you. I'm glad your life is good. Mm-hmm. But if you pick and choose on the buffet of what we lay out in front of Ramsey, all the Ramsey things, and you pick and choose, you could almost get yourself in trouble. Mm-hmm. Because you sort of do it, sort of do this, sort of do that, sort of do this, and then you're going to run those credit cards back up. Statistically, there's a 90% chance you're going to go back in credit card debt because you still honestly think a credit score is a good thing because you're proud of it. You still honestly think while you've got this debt that it's okay to travel. You still honestly are wondering whether you ought to cash out your savings and put it towards it. Those are honest discussions in your head, but I can just tell you from having done this for 30 years where all of those things are going to lead you, and you can't just do one of them and keep doing the other two or three and end up in a good place, dude. And we love you too much to not tell you the truth. So
you'll be wandering in the wilderness.
I really would not pay off your debt with this money unless you're going to cut up your credit cards and start living on less than you make. And plug in responsibility to the whole thing. If you're not going to do the whole thing, please don't do just a little of it. It could bring you harm. Well, you've all played the telephone game. The first person whispers a message to the second person, who whispers it to the third, and so on around the table until the original message has completely changed. Multiply that confusion by 100 if you run a business with different software systems that don't talk to each other. That's why there's NetSuite by Oracle. In the early days of Ramsey, we were using different systems for all of our business units. We needed one single source for accurate data. NetSuite was the software we used to optimize and take us to the next level. NetSuite gave us the visibility into all of our numbers so that we could communicate across departments and plan ahead better. And as we grew, it scaled with us. NetSuite worked for Ramsey, and it will make a difference for your business too. Join the more than 34,000 customers who trust NetSuite to help make them smarter and make better decisions and level up their operations. To learn more, get a free product tour at netsuite.com/Ramsey. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Today's question of the day is brought to you by Neighborly, your hub for home services. When you're looking to buy a home and need professional inspection, trust the Neighborly brand Housemaster. From plumbing and electrical to roofing and siding, they inspect a home top to bottom to help you make an informed decision. Schedule a visit with Housemaster on neighborly.com today.
Today's question comes from Jeremy in Arizona. I'm having a mini dilemma over my finances and could use a neutral third party. I have some student loans to pay off, and I could have it all paid off by now, but I held off when I thought I could qualify for Biden's student debt relief plan. I was prepared for that possibility and am still able to pay off my remaining balance. I've heard that the Biden administration is supposedly working on another avenue for debt relief. While I know logically that paying off my debt sooner rather than later is the smart call, I know there's a part of me that will feel cheated if I pay these loans now and find out I would have been approved for relief later. I feel like I know what you'll say, but as I said, I'd feel better to hear it from a neutral third party. I don't know that I'm neutral. I just think that you need to pay your bills off. You need to pay your student debt. You've got the money sitting there. Pay your debt. There's no relief coming. There is no relief coming. I'm telling you. The only relief there is 30 years from now when you're about to retire and you've worked your whole life paying. And then maybe, just maybe, there's a small chance, depending on who might be in administration at that time, depending on who might decide that they want to make themselves look good politically, there might be a sliver of a lightning bolt's chance that you might get a little bit of forgiveness. Who wants to live their life like that? Not me. I like being in control of my life. I like knowing that if Jade says she's going to do it, she's going to do it. I will not, and you shouldn't either, live your life with this debt hanging over your head, because when you do this, and this is not just to Jeremy, this is to anybody who's holding on to debt thinking that there's a sliver of a chance of a possibility's chance that you might get forgiveness. Your body feels that. Your body knows you're in debt. Dr. John would say it all the time. Your body keeps a score. You know when you've got $50,000 in debt. That's why $100,000 of debt. That's why even these payment plans that they have set up, and they're telling you, hey, it's okay. You can just pay $12 a month and the interest won't accrue. You think you can't feel the fact that you still owe $150,000 of debt?
Absolutely. And let me tell you what else you can feel, Jeremy. The guy who's out there that's a welder, the gal that's cutting hair, they shouldn't have to pay your bill. You know who pays it if you don't? Taxpayer. They didn't sign up for your debt. You signed up for it, son. You pay your bill. You owe it.
You owe it.
It's a moral and an ethical obligation. You need to pay it. Quit waiting around the government to fix your life. 10 years from today, 20 years from today, you will be where you are based on who you count on. Do you count on your efforts and God's blessings, or do you count on Washington, D.C.? The people that count on Washington, D.C., their life sucks. If you sit around and wait on the government to fix your life, you're going to be standing in the DMV line the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. That's stupid. It doesn't work. Waiting on politicians to deliver the goods, you will be waiting on your deathbed for it. They just don't do it. Let me tell you who delivers the goods, Jeremy. You do. Get up off your assets and go to work and pay your bill. You owe it. And that guy who's a welder, that gal who's cutting hair, she doesn't owe your money, and she shouldn't have to pay it. The taxpayer shouldn't carry your burden. You're not poor. You're just leaning towards socialism because some stupid college professor who studied more Karl Marx than he has capitalism influenced you at some point.
That's a word.
And you got to get off of it. Pay your dadgum bill. It's that simple. Now we got social media stirred up.
There
Here we go, boys and girls.
That's it.
Light it up, childrens. All right, Sky is with us. Sky is in Biloxi, Mississippi. Hey, Sky, how are you?
I'm doing good today. Thank you.
Sure.
How are y'all?
Better than we deserve. How can we help?
I'm pretty much snowballed myself over the last 18 months into a lot of credit card debt. Got out of it and got right back in it.
How'd you do that?
And
what'd you do?
Bought a house and remodeled it.
You sell the house yet?
Well, that was an option. And
I thought you meant you were flipping it. I misunderstood. Okay. How much credit card debt have you got?
$65,000.
Woo-wee.
All for remodeling?
No, honestly, probably $35,000 of it is from remodeling it. The other stuff is probably from traveling and trying other different business ventures that just didn't all work out.
How old are you?
44.
What do you make?
So right now I'm making about $8,800 a month, but about $3,500 is coming from a job that I'm probably not going to have in another couple of more months. I do all contract work, and I don't
Contract work on what? What do you do?
I do accounting work, bookkeeping.
Okay, so you go get another one. If that contract falls out, you go get another one.
I'm trying.
So
I'm trying.
You haven't lost it yet. Where are you today? What's your question?
So I know bankruptcy is not an option at all.
You're not bankrupt.
Not even close.
No,
you make $8,800 a month. You have $65,000 in debt.
I know.
You're not bankrupt.
I know, and I guess it's just being by myself and trying to pay all the bills. It's hard.
Okay, you're out of control and scared.
Right.
But you're not bankrupt. That'll hold.
I don't know if I should call these and like negotiate.
Are they in collections?
Some of them are.
How far behind are you?
4 months.
How much is your car payment?
I'm not. I pay on my house note and my car note.
How much is the
every
car
month.
payment?
$485.
And what do you owe on the house?
$171.
And what's it worth?
When I bought it a year ago and
What's
it
it
was
worth today?
$185. I don't know.
Fixed. You put $35,000 fixing it up.
Correct.
What do you
Yeah.
think it's worth?
Well, the realtor that came over says that she doesn't think I could sell it for the, $210. What I would really want to sell it for to recoup my costs
Well,
from
you'd
it.
like to, but like to in reality is different things. Like to doesn't establish price. Okay, so you got a $200,000 house. You owe $171 on it, and that won't even give you your money back because you did a bad deal.
Correct. Yes.
And you're 4 months behind on credit cards, and you have a $400 car payment, and you make $8,800 a month for now, but you're afraid you're going to lose one of these contracts, and you're scared and out of control. Is that a good summary?
Correct.
Yeah. Been there and done that. It's no fun, is it? I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry. We can help you if you're willing to embrace it. I can show you how to fix it, okay?
Definitely.
You're not bankrupt, hon. You've just been making for something is causing you to make huge moves in impulsive manners, like you're lurching around. Like the travel wasn't logical, as broke as you were, but you did it anyway.
Correct.
And the car wasn't logical, but you did it anyway.
Yes, I needed a vehicle at the time, and that's
But you went overboard.
Yes.
And the house wasn't logical at the time, but you did anyway. So there's something causing your decision-making process, the impulsiveness of it. I know this because I've done it myself, and that's how I recognize it, but it was 30 years ago. But I can still smell it in the air on you. The impulsiveness is causing your financial snowball. It's piled up on you is what it is. It's like piled up over your head, and then you wake up and you have a moment of reality, and it's freak-out moment. You can't breathe.
Exactly correct.
Yeah, I thought so, hon. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put you with a financial counselor. You're not bankrupt. You just need a game plan, and you've got to quit lurching around. No more impulsive decisions, okay? Slow, gentle, wise decisions from this point forward. I'm going to pay for the financial counselor. It's not going to cost you a thing. And we're going to put you into Financial Peace University. It's not going to cost you a thing. When I was your age, I was more broke than you are because of similar habit patterns. You got to stop it to clean it up. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, being free to make your own medical decisions is a big deal these days. Christian Healthcare Ministries gives members the freedom to choose the doctors and providers they want without the frustration of worrying about networks and with no waiting period to join. It's a membership-based nonprofit ministry where hundreds of thousands of Christians share funds to pay for and pray for each other's medical bills. For over 40 years, CHM has helped families living across all 50 states. So see if CHM could be right for your family. Check out more today at chministries.org/budget.
Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Chase and Shelby are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Great. How are you guys?
Better than we deserve. Where do y'all live?
Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth, Texas. All right, good for you. And I understand from our producers that, Shelby, you paid off all your debt before y'all got married, and so we got Shelby up here just to prove that he's the husband. He didn't do anything.
He's just my showpiece today.
There he is. He's the eye candy, right?
Is,
there we go. All right, there. All right, good. Very cool. All right, Shelby, how much debt did you pay off before you got married?
$79,000.
Good for you. And how long did that take?
About 34 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
Started with 60 and ended with 95.
Cool. What do you do for a living?
I'm a speech language pathologist.
Ah, very good. And what kind of debt was the 79?
All student loans.
Okay. So how old were you when you started this 3 years ago?
It was right after I graduated grad school, so I was 24.
24. Okay. And so you're 27 and you finish. And how long were y'all engaged?
Just about a year. We got married in June.
Okay. So Shelby has got this girl he's going out with, and she's not buying anything ever because she's getting out of debt. And he's like, what in the world?
Pretty much.
So how did this conversation go when y'all were dating, seriously?
Well, we knew each other a little bit before we started dating, so it kind of came up really early, but we had known each other. But I do remember I said something about Dave Ramsey, and he just immediately badmouthed you, and I was like, this may not work.
Chase, she put you out there on blast.
This may not work, but probably a week later, he was talking about Dave Ramsey. I said, okay, maybe there's hope. But I just remember telling him, he was guessing how much loans I had, and his jaw just kind of dropped. And but I said, but I'm on this plan, I'm gonna get this taken care of, I'm out of debt. And so I have to give him a lot of credit too, because he was very much prepared to take on the debt when we got married if I still had some.
There you go.
So.
Okay. Well, that offsets the Dave Ramsey stuff.
Exactly. He made a complete 180. We're good.
That is amazing. $79,000 of student loan debt. I can't say that loud enough.
No.
Will you just say a few words for the folks who have $80,000 of student loan? What makes you different? Why did you look at this and say, I can do it, versus looking for any other way out?
I mean, I took it out.
Yes!
I needed to pay it back. I mean, it was for my degree. I chose to go to an out-of-state grad school, so that was my choice. And so just responsibility for it. And I knew I'd be able to just live better after. I wouldn't have the debt. Yeah, it's absolutely worth it. So.
Man, love to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good. Well, I mean, you could take care of it, or you and Shelby could take care of it, and you're not waiting on Joe Biden. Okay. I mean, this is a good plan. It's a good plan.
Yeah, it's really nice too. In our marriage, I mean, we're on babysit 3B, so we're not having to worry about it.
That's
Don't have to worry about any debt. So it's
saving
been great.
for a house.
Exactly. Yeah, saving for a house.
Okay, so you're in your mid-20s, coming out of grad school. You're tearing through this hard. 36 months. What do you tell people, 34 months, the key to getting out of debt is?
Oh, gosh. I don't know that I had one key, to be honest.
Oh, I've got it backwards. They told me I got the names wrong.
Oh.
Shelby's the girl, Chase is the guy.
Yeah, that's right.
I got this so screwed up. Why didn't y'all correct me?
Dave, you're giving Chase more reasons not to.
I know.
I mean, I just kept hearing Shelby. I wasn't really paying attention.
You're just going with it, yeah.
I was, yeah. I don't know. I mean, budgeting for me was really big. I needed to see it. I needed to pay, allocate money to my debt first before then I could allocate to other things. And so I think budgeting was the biggest thing for me.
Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and you got out and got the new job immediately with a degree.
I moved. I did side hustles. I got some career advancements at my job. So that all helped into the increase.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Make it sound so easy.
I know.
It wasn't. I sold my car.
Oh,
let's hear more about that.
Oh, I cried. The car didn't have any debt, but I got a great opportunity for my company to have a company car. And so I sold my personal car.
Shelby, you get it. You just get it.
No, I had to call Dave and George to really talk me through it.
Wow. What was the car worth?
$16,000.
Oh, wow. So that leapfrogged it. Then.
It did. It did. And that too, I think, is really what put me over the edge to be able to get out of debt before we got married.
Yeah.
But he was prepared. I mean, we were going to be debt-free in the airport on the honeymoon because he was saving money while we were engaged, but we didn't have to.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
I love it. Very well done.
I just love, you can hear it in your voice. You can hear that you're free.
Oh, yeah.
This was worth it. It's joyful. I mean, anybody listening can hear it. We can see it all over your face. It changes you.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's great. You can tell. It's been so much. It was a hard journey. there were tears.
What was the hardest part? Selling your car, or was there another?
Selling my car was really hard, as I loved my car. But I think just doing the side hustles, there were some that were harder than others, and I had to say no and spend my Saturdays doing side hustles, and that was hard because I felt like I wasn't getting to do things that my friends were doing in their 20s. But just knowing now, like, what's ahead and that we don't have to worry about the debt still, that it's worth it.
And do you ever look back and go, oh man, if only I had been able to buy that dress, or if only I had been able to do that thing?
No, and I think that's one thing I really learned was like the delayed gratification and thinking about, do I really need this? Do I want this? And so it's just, no, I don't regret the dresses. It worked out. I had other things in my closet.
There we go.
You're fine. You're fine. So Chase, what's it like watching your fiance finish this up?
Yeah, it was the experience was, it was tough to watch because there were, you see the emotions. It's not, she wasn't always like, just airy and free. Like, there's a lot of hard, challenging times, and I remember the first month or so we were dating, her weekends were doing grocery delivery, getting her income up other ways before the job started taking off, and so it was a lot to deal with. And you start realizing if I want to be with her, I need to prepare as well. So she helped me grow up a lot too in the time we dated.
I love that.
Yeah. Sometimes people just living well in front of you does that. That's pretty cool. That's a nice compliment. Well done. Well said, sir. Well said. Good work. Proud of you. Who was cheering you on other than just Chase?
My parents.
Uh-huh.
And then I had a small group of friends who knew what I was doing. They didn't know how much that I was working towards. But my friends, I had a friend who would send me like odd side jobs, and she's like, "Do you need to add to your side hustles?" So my small group of friends was definitely, they were my cheerleaders too.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, I bet your parents are proud of you.
Yeah.
We're proud of you. Well done. Very well done. A great young couple. Great start. Very cool. Hey, we've got the Live and Give box for you. That's the Baby Steps Millionaires book. You two are on track to be there for sure. And a Total Money Makeover book to give to one of your friends that's fighting their way through this. Financial Peace University. If you two hadn't been through that together as a couple, you ought to. It's free. And if you don't, then give it to somebody. Any of it's good. It's all there for you to say thank you for coming from Fort Worth to do your debt-free scream here. All right, it's Shelby with Chase in tow. I love it. $79,000 paid off before the marriage. Did it in 34 months, making $60,000 to $95,000. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
Yeah!
Good job.
That's how it's done. Man. Yeah. Wow. These dating conversations are interesting to me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like, you're doing Dave Ramsey. Have you not heard about him?
Yeah.
Ooh, gross. Ooh. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that comes up. You can see it in the social media feed.
Oh, yeah.
So it's funny. And then, but you got to be careful because you might be talking to like a Ramsey fan.
That's true.
Somebody whose life has been changed, and then you just ruined the date.
Well, yeah. Yes, that's right. You got to know who your dating pool is.
It's kind of like talking politics. I mean, it could get you in trouble. Like, you mean...
You know what? Just get it out of the way on the first date.
You mean you voted wrong? What? I mean, come on.
On the first date, tell them who you voted for and say Dave Ramsey and see what happens.
And you can pretty much, that's a great screener system there. And did they pay cash for dinner? This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dr. John Deloney here. I'm a huge fan of both meditation and prayer. And good mental health includes slowing down, gaining control of your thoughts, and plugging into something bigger than you. And Hallow makes it easy to start a daily practice of meditation, prayer, and finding peace. Hallow is the #1 Bible app in the world, and you can tailor content towards your faith tradition. From scripture readings and prayers to meditation and journaling, Hallow makes it easy to practice prayer, meditate, and build a deeper, more meaningful spiritual life and rediscover true peace. Go to hallow.com/Ramsey today to get 3 months of Hallow for free. That's hallow.com/Ramsey.
Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Bayla is with us in Cincinnati. Hi, Bayla. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, Dave. Thank you so much for taking my call. I'm super excited about this, and let's jump right in here. So, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a long-time listener and a very short time putting into actioner.
Okay.
So, that being said, I have an idea for a business plan LLC, independent contractor, side hustle, and I'd like to know how to do what I'm going to do. Currently, I'm employed with the state of Ohio, and I work for the Ohio Department of Natural Resources. And I make $43,000 annually.
And what's the side hustle idea?
Side hustle idea. Okay, so side hustle idea is a management plan. I have a degree in wildlife management, and it's goose management. So I have a dog. He's my best friend. His name is Arlo. He's a border collie.
Oh yeah, I know the deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got some friends in New York State that have they've got 6 squads of border collies, and the local government contracts with them to run the geese. Is that what you're talking about?
And so I work for the state government, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm very connected, and I would volunteer my time to the state government, especially like Parks and Watercraft. I'd have to volunteer my time because it's conflict of interest.
Exactly.
But I'm allowed to do that as long as because that doesn't meet my that isn't part of my job job duties with the state. So you're not allowed to volunteer. If it falls within your job duties.
Right.
Anyway, so I would like to go into business with my dog, Arlo.
Yeah.
He's going to be my business partner, and very low startup cost. And I need pet insurance. I need insurance for my business. I need insurance for my truck.
You don't need any of that.
I don't need business insurance?
No. You and the dog are going to go run geese. It's not rocket science. Go run the geese. You're not going to wreck the dog, and you're not going to wreck your truck. You got insurance on the truck now, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Just put the dog in the truck and go run geese. It's not any harder than that. And collect a check. I would know. You don't need to overthink this, or you're not doing anything that's going to create any liability. That dog's not going to bite somebody. That's not a biting dog.
Yeah, that
dog's a herd dog.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so
it's a great dog.
The one thing I would be worried about is like him running out into traffic and causing an accident or something. You know what I mean? Which I don't think will happen. But
I don't either.
Yeah,
you're if it does all of that. You're a state employee with no assets. Nobody's going to bother you. You go, the dog, what if your dog runs out in traffic now and causes an accident? Even if it wasn't in the pursuit of a business, be the exact same thing. You don't have dog insurance for that.
But if it is my business and
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Unless you're making $20 million a year, and then you need insurance and you need an LLC. But you're not making $20 million a year doing this. Now, you end up with a whole bunch of these dogs doing this. You could end up with a legitimate big-time thing. So here's what I would do. Keep it very simple. You'll run it as a sole proprietorship. Go to the bank and open a separate checking account with your current Social Security number. Your full name, DBA. It's called a DBA account, doing business as
Bella's Border Collies.
Geese Patrol, or Arlo's.
I already have a name picked out.
Okay,
so,
all right. Then put it in the, doing business as the name, whatever the name is, right? And then any money you make from geese chasing, you put into that account. Do not put it into your personal account. And then any expenses you have associated with that business, which will be very limited expenses, maybe a little gasoline in the truck to go to the job site, right?
Miles and wear and tear.
Yeah, if you want to do a little bit of that, I wouldn't get too carried away. But whatever the real cash expenses are, whatever's left in that account then is your profit. When you pull money out of that account, because it gets a little bit in there, and you want to take it home to pay bills with, you set aside a fourth of it to another account for taxes.
Is that another, like a savings account?
Yeah, just another little savings account, and that's just Bella's tax account. It's nicknamed, okay? Because you got to set aside, you got to withhold on yourself, because there's nobody withholding on you, and you're supposed to file quarterly estimates after you've been open a year.
Okay, so I'm an independent contractor, and it's like 1099, correct? And that's what
exactly. And so you're running a business, and businesses have to file quarterly estimates, whether they're an LLC, a sub S, or a sole proprietor. You're a sole proprietor. The only reason to open an LLC is if you start being worried about liability, and the only reason to be worried about liability is if you have a bunch of money, like if your rich uncle leaves you $1 million, then do an LLC, or if your business gets big enough that it's got a target on it, because everybody wants to sue everybody for something. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
But you got no target. It's a guy and his dog in a truck chasing birds. It's not a target.
How much money do you make on that?
There's a similar company that is local to my. So there is a little bit of competition, but not much. He has a crew in Dayton, a crew in Cincinnati, and a crew in Columbus. And I almost got hired with him to go do the Columbus route, but it's too far. It was too far for me. Didn't make sense, and I turned it down.
But you just go. You go do a run. What, once a day or twice a week or whatever?
He said there was $100,000 to be made in Columbus.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a girl that was doing it, and they drive Priuses, gas efficient Priuses, and I've seen them do it. They pull into the parking lot, and sometimes they don't even use the dog. They just walk over there. They just walk around the property and chase the geese off of the boundary, off of the property line. So on the neighbor's property, off of the property line of the person that they are contracted for. And
then they come back and do it every 3 days or 2 days, right?
Absolutely, and they get paid every time.
Yeah. And the geese are back. Yeah, that's what it is. It's just
what a life.
It's just harassing federally endangered species. Yes.
Or the geese will fly over to my other property that I have a contract with on the other side of the street, and I'll go over there and chase them back to the other.
And get another check.
Oh man.
I'm just kidding.
That's about how bad it is, though. You're right. That's
essentially the way it works. But you got to show up.
Because the birds are just not smart. Yeah.
You got to be consistent every day or every other day, and then. It's just.
It turns out the only way to get rid of them is illegal. So there you go.
I never would have known about this had I not heard this call.
We had a guy, and he was in New York State, come to EntreLeadership about 5 years ago at one of our events, and I sat and talked to him about this. That's the only reason I knew anything about it. I just got so enamored. I thought, what a great subscription, recurring revenue business model. Go run geese off that come back every 3 days. Until, because it doesn't, they're dumb. They just keep coming back. Even if the dog gets a hold of one of them. I mean, they're just dumb. It's fun. But yeah, and you can't kill them because they're federally endangered. So, not legally.
Interesting.
And so, so you're stuck with Arlo running the geese off.
All right, Arlo's got a job to do.
Arlo, good old Arlo.
He's making $100,000.
Bella and Arlo. Yeah, there we go. Sounds like a movie.
It is.
Yeah. Hey, man, go make you a bunch of money. If you start making a bunch of money and this gets real formal and you want to drop an LLC on it, fine. I would not go to the expense and file an extra tax return and go through all this extra crap. Just open it in your social and just start a business. It's America. You can just start and go. It's that simple. That. It's really not anything to it. It's The good news is we don't live in Russia.
You know, I think sometimes people want to start businesses and they want to do all this stuff first, and you don't even need to do all that.
Well, and you take a guy like this, a guy that's dog chasing geese. If you're unemployed out there,
come on,
oh my
Dave.
God. I mean, you just got totally shamed,
You
okay?
did. Yes.
This is a guy with a dog chasing geese, and he's got a business, okay?
And
Come on.
he's going to make some bank.
He's going to make bank on it. He's serious.
Good
It's
for
real.
him.
I love it. What a country. What a country.
America.
America.
All things possible, baby.
That's it, man. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jade. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us. If you want to talk about your life, we'll talk about you right in front of you. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Thomas is in Austin, Texas, starting this hour. Hey, Thomas, what's up?
Hey, y'all. Thank you so much for taking my phone call. I appreciate it.
Our pleasure. How can we help?
Well, so we just started the program, my wife and I. We've been married for about 5 years, and we've just been struggling paycheck to paycheck, obviously. And we just kind of got fed up with it. We had the aha moment, like, what are we doing? We kept just making some tough decisions. And we started checking the Experian and stuff like that, started finding, like, who we have our outstanding debt with. And turns out, I have about $11,600 in debt, which wasn't that much compared to some of the callers that you have on the phone. So we were really ecstatic about that. And then we got to my wife's side of things, and it turns out she's about $163,000 in debt. And it wasn't something that I was really aware of from the get-go, and it's kind of a unique situation. $140,000 of it is into a mortgage that her name is on, but in the divorce decree that she had with her previous husband, she signed any kind of all that over to him. Now, she did that on the intentions of some sort of verbal agreement that he had with her that he was going to pay her out or buy her out with a certain amount of money. We've been waiting for about 5 years, like I said, since we've been married, and we haven't seen any sort of dime in order from that, and it's this huge debt hanging over our head, and I'm wondering...
Does the divorce decree give her half ownership in the house? No, she signed it over. So why is he obligated to buy her out?
Well, it was now they have a kid together, and she lives with us, and we've been taking care of all of that. And,
yeah, but
all
why is he obligated to buy her out of the house when the divorce decree didn't say that?
Technically, he's not. He's not obligated, but they had, as I said, had a verbal agreement, and they're on speaking terms. It's not like they're.
Did the divorce decree state that he had to refinance the house and get it out of her name?
No, it did not. But that's what he's saying that he's going to do. But it just hasn't.
But he's under no
yet.
legal obligation to do anything.
Pretty much no.
So he doesn't have to, I mean, if he wants to sell the house and give her half when the time comes, that's his prerogative, but he doesn't have to be in a rush because this wasn't.
And he doesn't have to refinance.
Yeah. No
Correct.
court decree, no judge decreed this.
Right. And that's where the problem lies. And I'm wondering.
So what's the status of the house? Who lives in the house?
We actually do.
You live in a house that someone else owns that's our ex-husband.
Correct.
Interesting.
Tell me about it.
Okay. That's awkward.
Yeah, that feels messy.
I mean, like I said, their relationship is fairly decent. They have a kid together that's very civil. It's not like they're
he pays child
with
support?
each other.
He pays child support?
He is supposed to. He's not very good about it, but he's been better. Yes.
What's the house worth?
It's probably worth about $300,000.
How old are the kids?
She's 17.
I have a question about the mortgage. Are you paying the actual mortgage, or are you paying a different amount?
We pay pretty good compared to rent prices around here. We pay $1,300 a month. Whether that covers the mortgage payment, I'm not sure, but I'm sure it probably covers most of it, if not all of it.
Okay, so Thomas, here's this is messy for everyone. It's messy for him. It's messy for your wife. It's awkward for you. It's even messy for their daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got another year of child support due. He's been unwilling or unable to pay that. There's $150,000 or so in equity that he has, on a handshake, said he was going to share, but I'm not sure how good his memory is because he doesn't pay child support regularly like he should. Okay? And I'm not sure how good his memory is on refinancing. And so probably the only card you all hold is two cards. You have a persuasion card for your wife, and maybe you're in the room. I don't know the dynamic, but sit down with him in person and say, this is all real messy, and with her getting ready to turn 18, we need to clean this up. Okay? So we're going to move, and when you sell the house, we're willing to work with you on the back child support and the missed child support payments if you honor your word on getting the house sold and on splitting it with me. If you're not going to do that, then we're going to go to court over the back child support payments because we're going to at least collect that. And you're gonna sell the house. But I think in other words, I think you can just in a friendly way just say it's time for us to put a bow on this mess.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad one. Put a
pin in it. Put a pin in it.
Yeah, put a pin in this mess. That's better. And the best way to do that is to get us off. We're on a mortgage together. We don't need to be there. You got this child support hanging over your head. If you'll split the house with us like you said you would, and go ahead and get it sold and get the mortgage gone, and we get half the equity, no child support from here on out. Mm-hmm. You're out of child support for the rest of the year. And for any back child support. We're not going to bother you about it. But let's go ahead and get this done. Let's get this cleaned up because it's time for everybody to go their own way. This should have been done 5 years ago. The attorney that these two people used was an absolute moron.
I don't think they used an attorney. I think they just went through the state.
See, I rest my case. Yeah, they were absolute morons. Yeah, it was a horrible transaction. Poorly designed. Everything about it was not thought through. They all thought, we're going to be friends. We're going to be friends. You might end up friends. That'd be nice. It'd be great if you do. I'm not trying to pick a fight. But you need to wrap this up because there's just so much electricity in the air asking for an explosion with child support not hitting, but you can't really call him on it because you're not sure he's going to keep his word on getting the house out of her name and whether he's going to keep his word on splitting the house with her because he doesn't really have to because we didn't really put it in the divorce decree because nobody was driving this bus as it went off the cliff.
Yeah, and we're not even really worried about the child support, to be honest with you. We live on our own income.
That's my point. So use that as leverage because you don't need it. Let him out of it, and that's your give. If he'll go ahead and split and go ahead and get the house sold and get the mortgage out of your wife's name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If he doesn't do all of that, you're probably going to have to hire an attorney and force this because it's what should happen. You gotta get this cleaned up. You may never get half the equity. That's possible, but at least get the mortgage out of her name because you guys aren't going to be able to buy a house moving forward until you get this mortgage out of her name. Messy. Boys and girls, if you're going to go through a divorce, do not give the person the ownership of the house and stay on the mortgage. Quit claim deed and stay on the mortgage. Dumb, lazy strategy. Don't do that. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Last week, she did a webinar on budgeting. 10,000 of you showed up. Thank you for that. Tomorrow, August the 15th, Rachel Cruz will be doing a webinar on budgeting. We're going to work through the whole mental cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. Break the habit. Talk about how to do an irregular income in a budget. Every Dollar is the budgeting app that Rachel will be using to show you how to do that. It is the world's best budgeting app, produced for you by Ramsey. It is completely free to attend this webinar tomorrow, August the 15th. And you just simply sign up by going to everydollar.com/budgeting, and Rachel Cruz will lead you through it. And also keep that website in mind, because Jade will be doing another one, George will be doing a couple, Rachel will be doing another one. So we're going to keep these budgeting webinars going for a little while because they've been so popular. Completely free, by the way. We don't charge you a thing. We invite you to come and to be with us. So everydollar.com/budgeting. Andrew is in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Hey, Andrew, what's up?
Hey, Dave, how are you?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
Figured you'd say that. So, my situation is I'm getting married in November.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So Christy and I have very little bad debt. I don't think we actually have any. Basically, she owes about $114,000 on her house, 3.5% interest. I just paid off or sold my house in California, and the proceeds are about $154,000. We have 2 cars, $9,000 each.
Debt?
We're trying to figure. What's that?
The debt on the cars is $9,000 each?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And credit scores are both 812.
How can we help?
And we're trying to figure out, should we invest some or all of that 150 into a CD for maybe 5 or 6 years at 5%, or should we pay off the house and the cars in full right away?
So the way that is this your first time kind of listening in, or how long have you been hanging out with us here at Ramsey?
I've been listening for 2 years. I'm not allowed to marry Christy until I went through some of the courses.
Who said that?
Free from her parents. They actually instructed, Jack and Debbie instructed for some of Dave's courses.
Okay.
So
then you know the answer to your question.
I do. It's just the math side of me is like, okay, that's about $80,000 after 6 years. And then if I pay off this house in 6 years, we're really only paying about $20,000 in interest. So the net is an extra $60,000 that I think it's just tempting to look at that $60,000 and think, okay, we could put that towards a child's education. We don't have any kids. We don't have any.
You won't net that much.
Debt otherwise. So. What's that?
You won't net that much.
How much would it net?
Your math is naive. You left out taxes.
Oh, okay.
And you left out risk.
And on the positive side of the equation.
Yeah, your formula's incomplete. Yeah. So we studied 10,167 millionaires. We put the white paper in the back of the book, Baby Steps Millionaires. I'll give you a copy of it, okay? It was my last one. It was my latest #1 bestseller. All right. Now, the reason I tell you all of that is that in studying millionaires, the number of them that said, I became a millionaire by not paying off my house and putting the money in CDs and the spread made me wealthy. Out of 10,000 of them, the number that did that was precisely 0.
Okay.
Which means that the data says your theory sucks.
Okay.
And the same way that you left out pieces of the equation on the debt side of it, you left out pieces of the equation on the equation of getting debt-free. You've not been debt-free, so you don't know. Yeah. But you can't talk about that like it's kind of just like this throwaway thing. That's a big
The weird
deal.
thing is, the thing we discovered, Andrew, is that a couple married, you guys are married, and of course you're marrying into a family that believes this stuff. So, bless your heart. I mean, you're joining a cult. You're joining a cult, Andrew. But yeah, but so you're marrying into this, and when you have zero debt, and you have that incredible cash flow as a result, both of your incomes. I mean, oh my gosh, with no debt at all. The ability to pile up and build wealth is amazing. But what ends up happening too is relationally, statistically, you're more successful. Career, statistically, you're more successful. Here's why. It's very common sense if you think about it. You don't have to work in a bad place, so it changes your negotiating power. Not that you're going to go in and throw your weight around every 3 weeks and get a raise, but you just walk different when you walk down the hall of that place, and they don't mess with you, and they
I already
pay you
feel
more.
that after.
Yeah. And that swagger,
even after
that
selling
swagger is equal more than the spread you're talking about, and that, and
right.
we don't have any solid data on this, but it's a reasonable extrapolation to say, hey, number of health problems caused by stress, number one cause of divorce in America today, caused by stress, financial stress, all of these things added together equals substantial money, really, at the end of the day. When you cut down the number of stress-oriented health problems because you cut down financial stress being the number one stress point in America, and you get rid of career stress because you don't have to stay in a toxic environment because you don't have to work to pay the man. And so all of these things start to extrapolate, and it turns into wealth, health, and peace. And it just, that's why we keep going back to it, not because we're naive and we don't understand the spread on the interest. We do, but the spread on the interest, when you factor in all of those things, doesn't even come close to taking care of it.
I'm with you, Dave. I am with you. I think that, a lot of times people look at these numbers and it's like, they're not in a ton of debt. It's her home. It's easy to look at other options, but at the end of the day, he's got that cash. They could be debt free. They could have a home paid for, no debt in the world. And like you said, how quickly could they go and do more real estate and pay cash for it? How much could they put into their...
The math is wrong too. Wait a minute, $115,000 at 5% is only $5,000 a year for 5 years. That's only $25,000.
That's nothing.
That's not $80,000, Andrew. How'd you get $80,000? That's not there. So you messed up something there too. 5% of 100,000 is 5,000. Times 5 is 25. So over 5 years is not an $80,000 spread. So something like, and that's if your mortgage was a 0% and you made 5% on the CD.
That's a very good point.
So you can't move the shell enough to where the pea is not under one of them. It's always under one of them. It's just an illusion. Hey, man, thanks for the call, and good luck with the new marriage. Hang on. Austin will pick up. We'll get you signed up for the Baby Steps Millionaire stuff. So, Jade, it turns out that when God said, the rich rules over the poor, the borrower is slave to the lender, that slavery has more implications than an ancient biblical metaphor. It actually is more than that. What are all the implications of being a slave versus not being a slave? What kind of slave? Can you be a mental, emotional slave? Can you be a slave to your job?
100%.
Can you be a slave? I mean, how many different kinds of slave are mixed into slave? That's pretty crazy. And it gets you, when you get free of it is when you know.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you know that you were.
All of your decisions are different.
Yep.
The process that you take mentally when you make decisions completely changes.
Yeah, it's financial peace. Two words that don't go together. Like airline service. This is The Ramsey Show. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Jeremy and Jessica are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
So good, yeah.
Welcome. Where do y'all live?
Pensacola, Florida.
Welcome to Nashville.
Thank you so
much.
much.
How much debt have you guys paid off?
About $215,000 over 5 years.
Oh, good for you. Well, excellent. And what was your range of income during that 5 years?
About 65 to 195 or so.
Wow.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm active duty Navy and registered nurse.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your support.
I'm a registered nurse.
Okay.
Very cool.
Couple of nurses. Awesomeness. Okay. What kind of debt was the $215,000?
All mortgage.
Ooh.
Mortgage. Look at it, weird people.
Hey.
Paid for house.
That's
Love it. Way to go, you two. What's the house worth?
About $450,000.
Nice. How old are you two?
I'm 54.
46.
And a paid for house.
Come on, somebody.
Hey, there you go. Game on. And how much in your retirement accounts?
We got about 240 now, but he's retired from the Navy as well, so we've got ourselves set up pretty well.
Yeah, you got a nice. That 20.
Pensions.
Did you do 20 years?
About 24.
Oh yeah, they got that nice. That's good.
Yeah, it is good.
Very good. Nice retirement program. And now so you doubled your income right now. Yeah.
Right.
That's why we go from 65 to 195. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Way to go, guys.
Thank you so much.
Way to go. And you're almost millionaires. I mean, again, on top of that, yeah. Well done. Very well done. Excellent.
So what started this whole thing when you're like, you know what, we're just going to pay our house off and we're going to get intentional about it? What made you?
Oh, it started probably 10 or 11 years ago. We were on the Dave Ramsey Light program where
Oh, wow.
we started with financial peace, and we had
Sharon wants me to get on that program.
The Dave Ramsey Light. I like
Yeah,
that.
so we had the envelopes, and we did cash, but only kind of. We lived overseas for about 5 years. We came back, bought a house, and one day we just sat down and had a budget meeting, like a real budget meeting. Jessica's a math wizard. She broke out an Excel spreadsheet and started plugging numbers in, and we thought, oh man, we can really do this.
I
And
think
so we
we
started.
sat down and we realized we make way more money than we actually kept track of. So we just started having monthly budget meetings and really stuck
We
to
make
it.
too much money to be this broke.
That's
right.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah. That disgust will get you to the table.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So
That'll do it.
about 2.5 years ago, we realized, we could really pay off our house, really pay it off. So really
So-
hammer down.
And 5 years was $215,000, but really in the past 2 years about $185,000 because we just
Went ham.
we just did everything we had to.
Yeah, so really that's what it is. Yeah,
Right.
that's that. You just when you look up, you could see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's not a train.
That's right.
So you
Yeah.
run to the light.
That's
I
right.
mean, that kind of beautiful. Well
That
done.
is beautiful.
How's it feel not having any payments?
It's weird.
It is. It's so strange.
Still kind of weird.
Yeah. So, but I think probably the month after we paid our house off, I walked into the backyard and I'm like, every blade of grass is ours.
There you
And
go.
it was an amazing feeling.
It is. It really is. Well done, you guys.
Thank you so much.
Very well done.
So what's next? What do you guys do? You got no payments in the world.
No.
Do anything you want to do.
That's right.
We
What do you-
came here. This was a vacation
Yeah.
Wow.
that we really enjoyed.
Well,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad you like Nashville then.
It's
Yeah.
Good.
a lot of people.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Yes, there is. Downtown has turned into a redneck Mardi Gras.
That's what we said.
It really has.
Yeah.
It's out of control. The bridesmaids out of control are gone nuts. The whole thing. But it's still, it's if you like people watching, it's entertaining as crud.
It is.
Yeah. So, well, we're glad you came. Cool.
We sure are.
What's the first big thing you're going to do with money now that you're free?
We're going to start plugging it back into our investing and
Right.
our Roth.
Just want to see that roll up now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Look at the math girl. The math guy. I know what this is going to do. Get this compound interest going, baby.
I'm thinking you're gonna say a trip to Europe, a trip somewhere.
Oh,
You're
no.
like, I gotta get this
No.
compound interest. I'm not
So
mad at
good.
that. I'm not mad at that at all.
That is so fabulous. Well done. So, when y'all were growing up, did you grow up in families that had paid for houses, or is this new to your family tree, or what?
It's brand new. I mean, we both grew up relatively poor, so owning a home was a reach for us, growing up. So It's unbelievable.
Much less having it paid for.
Absolutely.
Well, of us
Absolutely.
had single moms, you know.
Oh yeah, okay.
Rough times growing up, so
Well, they
we are
gotta
so
be.
blessed.
If they're alive, they got to be proud.
Very
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, they got to
Wow.
be just thrilled, just smiling and going, "I did it." This is how it works out.
That's
yeah,
right.
some of you single moms out there that are worried if you're doing okay or not, this is what you're growing. You're growing people like this.
That's right.
So
I know
it's
that's
good.
right.
Single moms are warriors, man. They're amazing.
Yeah, they are.
Well, congratulations, you two. We're
Thank
very,
you so
very
much.
proud of you. What do you
Mm-hmm.
tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
Keep your marriage focused on God and have monthly budget meetings.
Make a plan and stick to it.
Mm-hmm. There it is. Game on.
Absolutely.
Sounds like a couple of nurses.
Yeah.
If I prescribe you medicine, take it.
That's right. That's right.
Be compliant.
Store it up for the next time you're sick. Take it. Oh my gosh, that's it. That's the plan. To execute the plan. I mean, execute the plan. A doc was telling me the other day. I had no idea the amount of times he writes script and people don't take it.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
What?
Wow.
What the number of
Fulfilled.
people just don't do what they're supposed to do. Stuff. I mean, it's just crazy.
Wow.
I wouldn't know anybody like that, but yeah. All right. So, hey, we got the Live and Give box for you, the Baby Steps Millionaires book, because that's definitely where you're headed shortly. Compound interest lady over here is going to make that happen. And Total Money Makeover book to give away and get somebody moving. And, of course, the Financial Peace University. Again, give that away. It's for you to live or give. You enjoy it. Thank you for coming from Pensacola. And, again, thanks to both of you for your service. Very, very cool. I'm so happy that you're almost millionaires and you're 100% debt-free.
Love it.
House and everything. Jeremy and Jessica, Pensacola, Florida. 215 paid off in 5 years, 185 of that in the last 2. Paid for house. Almost Baby Steps millionaires, making 65 to 195. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! Yeah!
That's how you do it.
Game on. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I wonder, I've never seen this. We need to ask the research team next time they're running a survey out, especially if they're running it on the millionaires page. I wonder how often much more often two nurses become a millionaire versus one doc.
Oh, that's a good one, Dave.
Because I see nurses.
That's a good one.
They lean into system. I mean, docs do all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. Some of them are really game on, but most of them are out of their minds. And they're the docs are number 6 though, and nurses aren't. So I guess the docs would come up more often. But you put 2 nurses, or I'll tell you the other one I see in the millionaire stats a lot, like a nurse and a police officer. That kind of thing.
It's because it's systems.
There's something about that systems, and they plug in and they do it. That's a couple nurses there. They sit down. We can do this.
Yeah.
They didn't have an argument about it. They're just like, we make too much money to be broke. Let's get this done.
Yeah.
Game on. It's very matter of fact, very practical. It's not like some kind of big.
It's the antidote.
There's no drama.
Yeah.
We got drama at work if you're a nurse. The numbers aren't a drama.
Oh, that's a good tie-in. They're high stress jobs, police officer, nurse. You have enough to deal with that work. When you go
Teachers.
home, it needs to feel peaceful.
Yeah. Teachers have high stress because they have to deal with the parents.
Yeah. I could never do it, Dave.
I don't know.
Thank you, teachers.
I mean, these parents that drop off their kindergartners, I don't know how you tolerate those parents.
Well, I'm one of those parents, Dave, and I did it with no tears this morning.
You
all right,
did.
I did it.
You did until I brought it up on the air.
That's true. Although my son would not take a photo with me, maybe that's why I didn't get the tears.
Yeah.
He said,
Well,
"No,
we got
Mommy."
2 of the Ramsey grandbabies started kindergarten this week too, so you're among friends. I love it. This is the Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day is Psalm 119, 105. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Ronald Reagan said, when you can't make them see the light, make them feel the heat.
That's good.
Okay, we can go that way. We can go that way if you want to. Well, I just ran into Dr. John Deloney in the hallway just a second ago, congratulating him on the huge sales of this new book of his called Building a Non-Anxious Life. It actually comes out October the 3rd, but we've got it on pre-sale right now for $20, and we'll throw in $75 worth of free bonus items, which includes instant access to his newest Talk, Smoke, Fire, and Freedom that breaks down the mythology about anxiety and what we believe about anxiety and help you reclaim your life. You're also going to get the ebook, the audiobook, Building a Non-Anxious Life in a burned-out, chronic stress, anxiety-filled culture. This book is really needed. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of the content. It's really good stuff. Go to RamseySolutions.com and pre-order it by Dr. John Deloney, Building a Non-Anxious Life. Be sure and do that. Joseph is with us in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Hi, Joseph. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello, Mr. Dave. How are you doing?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
That's outstanding. So I'm 21 years old. I am looking to purchase my first property. It is a multifamily. It's a quadplex, and I've run the math. Everything looks good on my side based on my view, but I know you have a lot of real estate wisdom and knowledge, so I wanted to run it past you, see if you thought it was a good idea before I went ahead and pulled the trigger on it.
Okay.
So I make...
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
You make what?
Okay. So 61K is my take-home pay every year. I have no debt whatsoever. And the mortgage payment as of right now, the current rates, the mortgage payment on the property would be only 20% of my take-home pay. So right now I have basically
20% of your take-home pay.
Correct.
For a quadplex?
Yes. So it's going for $190 on the market as once it gets on, but the owner of it, he's my mentor, and he's willing to sell it to me at a discounted price because this is something that he and I have been talking about for a long time.
What type of neighborhood is this in?
It is outside of Harrisburg. It's in a small town. Really nice. It's not bad.
So you think you'll be able to resell it for a profit in 5 years?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I've actually done work on the property. We've recently upgraded all of the units because I'm an electrician by trade. So the company that my mentor owns, we remodeled it before we put it on the market for renting to begin with. So all 4 units are rented out, and it's currently cash flowing.
There is nothing wrong with anything you're saying. All the numbers work. There's a couple of things you just want to be aware of that that are going to change the deal for you. And as long as you're aware of them and you're ready for them, then it won't kill you. You'll be all right. The first thing is that are you dating someone seriously?
No, sir.
Okay. If you were to meet the right person and get married, you will discover she does not want to live there. So be prepared for that. Okay. Correct. A lot of guys go buy a house and even a nice house, like a nice little cute little single family home, and but something about the new wife doesn't want to live in the bachelor pad. They don't want to come back. They don't want to live there. So just be prepared for that. Number one. Number two, the good news is your tenants are next door, so you know what's going on. The bad news is your tenants are next door.
I would not be living in it.
Oh.
That's what I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask if you were living, and I wanted to ask if you can still afford it if the other 3 tenants don't pay. But if you're not living there, I feel like that changes the equation a little bit.
So the payment, if nobody pays, the payment is 20% of your take-home pay.
If nobody pays anything, the mortgage is still 20% of my take-home pay. That would also cancel out utilities. I would still have tax, so it would probably go up. So,
well, where are you living, and what do you pay for where you live?
Right now, it's just me and a roommate. We pay $850 a month. We live in a property that one of our friends owns.
So let me throw one more set of numbers. So you're $850, and then if the tenant, and then from the tenants, that all that money is what percentage does that put you at?
Yeah.
I don't think I understand what you just said.
Your portion, if you have to pay rent and the payment, your portion of the rent, because you're splitting with a roommate, but is the $850 your portion?
No. That's
okay. So you pay half that. So you pay $4.25.
Wow.
Yeah. Plus.
Well, I pay half of $750. I have a brother that doesn't live there, but he still pays rent to keep his rent.
Oh, okay.
There.
So you're paying $350?
I am paying $350.
Okay.
We've been there for a while, and we're good friends with the owner. And
this is not horrible, but it's not as exciting as I think it is in your head.
I'm also wondering about the longevity of it, how long you're going to want to live in this situation with the roommates.
I just think something's going to change here. I would rather you be buying a home you lived in personally overall. And so, Joseph, I got my real estate license when I turned 18. I went to the University of Tennessee at Knoxville, and I got a degree in finance and in real estate. I was selling real estate in a small town south of Knoxville called Maryville, Tennessee, Merville, Tennessee, if you're from there. If you're a Yankee, you call it Maryville. But and I found this really cute little house that needed a little bit of work, and I knew how to do work because I grew up like you did, knowing how to wire a box or swing a hammer. And it needed about a couple $1,000s worth of work. I could buy the house. Now, this is 1,000 years ago, okay? This is 1982. I could buy the house for $19,000. And I could qualify for the mortgage because I've been selling real estate. I made enough money. I was working full-time and going to school full-time. And I almost bought that house, and I was 20 and a half. I wasn't quite 21 yet. And my mentor at the time talked me out of it, who owned a real estate company that I worked for. His name's Gary. And Gary was the broker, and we believe in real estate. We sell real estate for a living. And he said, you don't want to do that right now. You're getting ready to graduate from school. You might get married, and you might leave and not be living here, and you're going to have this house, and it's going to be more of a curse than it is a blessing. Now, that's not your case, but my point is I was very young, and I didn't buy that piece of property, and 1,000 times I've thanked Gary for that.
Huh.
That I didn't buy it because there was nothing wrong with the deal, but it just what was wrong was all of my phase of life made the deal less fun.
I feel that.
And I'm not saying you're going to get married and change cities, Joseph, at all. So your story doesn't parallel. The only part of my story that parallels yours is I was the same age as you. I was young.
Yeah.
And you're pretty young to be owning a quadplex while you're a renter. So you're a real estate investor and a renter. That's just kind of weird and awkward.
It felt better if he was living there.
Yeah.
And even that, I had some qualms about, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I worry about you doing. I mean, you can do it, and I'm not saying young people can't do stuff. That's not my point at all. But my point is you're at a stage of life when things change pretty quick. The next 5 years, there's going to be more changes than any other 5-year period of time in your future, probably.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider. But,
it is.
Hey, you're a sharp young dude. You'll figure it out. And it sounds like you got a good mentor, and he's being generous to you. That's good. So hope it works out for you, brother. Thank you for the call. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today.